Health,
agriculture,
education,
environment,
social welfare,
community development,
cultural programs,
music.
all active right here.
On Radioactive 90.4 megahertz. Get active!
Hello, this is Preeti. The Preeti Bhuyan Talk Show is a platform to speak out your mind. I feel every person has something wonderful and unique inside their mind which may be worth listening, and it may be motivate or inspire others. Preeti's Talk is about fitness, inspiration, motivation, sharing knowledge and celebrating womanhood. Stay tuned, stay connected. This is Preeti with loads of love.
Welcome to the Preeti Bhuyan Talk Show. I bring people here in front of you who has something beautiful in their mind, in their heart, which may motivate or inspire you, or maybe it's worth listening. I am the host Preeti Bhuyan, and my today's guest is Myra Martin. Myra is a soft skill trainer, and today I am going to talk about our children in future with COVID. COVID has become like a part of our life now. We have to live with it. We have to walk with it. Lockdown period is almost over. Things are reopening except few services, whereas number of COVID infected are increasing day by day. Maybe we do not have any other option other than living with this pandemic, but with making ourselves aware of precautions and safety guidelines. Because we do not know how long this COVID is going to stay in our life. Maybe it is for few weeks, maybe for years. I am worried about our children now. As talk is going on, probably school also will reopen very soon. So Myra, what do you want to say about it as a mother? Our children with COVID in future.
Well, I would like to first thank you, Preeti, for giving me this opportunity to speak about such a worldwide concern today, which none of us ever imagined would happen, about our children and about the people. On the whole, I would just like to share something, nothing extraordinary, something which probably they've already heard in bits and pieces, but it's good to give them a reminder because it is a very, very big catastrophe the whole world is facing. So Preeti, if it's okay, can I just start with giving a few tips as just a quick, reminder to people about certain things.
Yes.
Okay. The first point is, this is for everybody, not children, not adults, it's for everybody. Right. First point is, in this whole scenario, as you already rightly said, we cannot think of our lives without this COVID. Right. COVID has become part of our lives.
Yes.
So the first point I would like to say is, no matter what the government says about social distancing and all, I think all of us should take the responsibility upon ourselves and keep a safe distance from everybody. Irrespective if there's a lockdown or not, we should start inculcating these things in ourselves and in our children that maintain a certain distance from everybody. Right. That's the first point. Second point is, of course, a very common point, which is becoming a joke today with, a lot of gifts and all that you see in the social media, cleaning your hands as much as possible. It's like to share a small joke with you. I saw one of these which says a little kid is asking his mom, I mean, how come there's no vaccine made in the world for a virus that can be killed with soap?
Right.
Yes. So yes, cleaning your hands and disinfecting all the frequently touched surfaces in your home. Okay, even your doorknob, handle, your keys, everything should be regularly wiped and cleaned because those are things everybody touches, right? Okay. Don't touch your eyes, nose and mouth, which is again said, but it's sometimes difficult, but we have to keep thinking about it. When you cough or sneeze, you should cover it with your elbow or use a tissue. Now, the important part here is if you have to go out and gather with other people for whatever reason, please choose to do it outdoors where there is a lot of airflow. That is important, not indoors where there's a congestion. Because when it's outdoors and a lot of good airflow, you can at least be rest assured that you're not inhaling what somebody, exhales or any kind of germs that is in the air.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you notice the way people wear masks. but the way people wear masks is actually wrong. People will be taking morning walks, evening walks, working around the house also and premises, and they have their nose and mouth covered. Now, when your nose is covered and your mouth is covered under one shield, I mean, doesn't it strike you that you are inhaling the carbon dioxide which you are exhaling?
Mm-hmm.
So this is unhealthy actually.
Okay.
Instead of that, I always tell people who I, come across, cover your mouth with a mask, keep your nose open, breathe in oxygen because your body needs oxygen, your brain needs oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you by chance come across somebody in a close proximity, if you're standing in a queue somewhere in a supermarket or at a bank or wherever, surrounded by people very close, then you could cover your nose. Yes, when you are talking to somebody, maintain a distance, a physical distance between you and the person. Again, if it's not allowed and you're pretty close, then yes, you could cover your mouth and nose, but avoid it as much as possible. Your nose was never meant to be covered. I think people should realize this. Your nose was never meant to be covered. The very fact that we have nostrils, it means it should be kept open for air. And if we go against nature, it is going to affect us. People should realize this. I would say alarming that people are not realizing this. You go anywhere, people are just covered mouth and nose for hours together.
I do not know whether it is right or wrong. As of now, when you are telling me these things, it's striking me also right now.
Yes. See, it's very simple. If I'm standing close to you, just take an example, and you sneeze, okay, we are very close to each other, standing and talking, like, in a low tone. So we are close. Now, when you sneeze, there is a chance of those germs, me contacting it through my nose and mouth. Of course, it is a chance.
Right.
But if you are at a safe distance, by me covering my nose, I'm only causing more damage because I'm not taking in oxygen, the right amount of oxygen. Okay. And I think we need a lot of oxygen now. We have to build up our immunity. We have to make sure that we are getting some amount of oxygen apart from this contaminated air. So it's important that we know how to use the mask for your own safety and for your own comfort level. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't wear a mask. I'm not saying don't cover your nose. I just said that. Right. When you need to, when there's somebody close, do it. If you fear if somebody's going to sneeze or cough, I need to cover. Okay, fine. Then, avoid situations where you need to always keep your nose covered. Avoid situations as less as possible. So I'm saying as much as possible, in spite of all of us around the whole world having to wear a mask, as much as possible, avoid situations where you have to keep covering your nose, because covering your nose is not healthy. That's all I'm saying. I hope this point is clear. People should not misunderstand. So it's right. It is always advisable to get the correct information instead of getting the wrong information. Yes?
Right.
Okay. So this point now is a little difficult. All the little points I gave, apart from washing of hands, the other things I mentioned, small kids like primary kids, mid-school kids, middle school, I don't know how much they will understand and how much they will be able to adapt. So when it comes to school reopening, I think it will now become a personal preference. Schools might open in August, but I think parents will have the liberty to either allow the child to go to school or say it's okay, I don't mind if my child misses school, it doesn't really matter. Because end of the day, who's responsible? This is a very big issue, Preeti. If you look beyond that point of just going to school, you have to look beneath the surface. It's not just sending my child to school. The implications involved here. Firstly, kids. Now let's talk primary to the 8th or 9th standard. I would talk about till the 8th standard at least. I think it's mandatory that they should just stay home as long as possible, have online classes, do assignments at home, and take it till at least the end of the year, where later, depending on the situation, they can always resume school. Right. When it comes to the elder children, 9th and 10th, it is again very debatable. Maybe the school may have to resume, but I would always say and advise that it would be much better and let them study at home. Of course, considering this, it's going to be very difficult for the children to cope with the syllabus if they're not having regular classes. So the Ministry of Education has to really take a very, very considerate call on this. And I think the syllabus has to be cut down at least 40% if they want the children to, do well. Otherwise, it's going to have a repercussion which is going to come into the picture. And as you said, our children are the youth. They are the youth. They are the nation of tomorrow. So, a lot of consideration has to be put into this. I think this whole year will be erased, when it comes to school and kids performing. I think there has to be some consideration executed here in a very big way. The other thing is, it's the younger kids who don't know what is a social distancing. I think they should be just kept far away from school. Parents should not entertain the thought till things really clear up, because it's going to be a big threat. The little kids in school, one kid falls ill. It spreads like rapid fire, and they keep playing and touching each other's things, and, that physical contact is there. And how much will teachers monitor? How much are they going to be able to, be sitting there like policemen and saying, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch?
It will again, their life will be, difficult
it is
for
not
them.
at all possible.
Not at all.
Okay. Now, that's from the teacher's point of view and the student's point of view. Now, as a parent, I think my stress levels will go up. Like me, all parents' stress levels are going to go up very high, because every day when your kid comes home from school, the moment you see your kid entering, what's going to come to mind? Oh my God. Okay, wash your hands, do this, okay? You're going to stress yourself, stress the child. And more than that, you're going to be constantly thinking, okay, my kid's gone to school and come back. Has my child got in touch with any infected person? Who knows?
Yes.
Who knows? Public transport or vans. In a van, how many children are sitting in a van? Do you think children can actually go to school in a van anymore under these circumstances?
It is. It
In
will be
the auto
difficult.
rickshaws which are pouring out, even in school buses, it's not possible. So considering all these little technicalities, I don't know how schools could consider reopening even in August. It's a little doubtful, I feel. I think it's going to be like, they're going to say that, okay, schools are reopening. It's up to you whether you want to send your kid or not. It's up to you. If you think you can make your kid study at home, do his assignments, give it up on time, it's all up to you. I think that's going to be the call more than, a mandatory attendance. It's not going to be possible. According to me, 2020 to 2021 academic year will be pushed under the carpet.
Right.
It looks like. I don't think much is going to come out of this.
We
shouldn't even have hope.
safety is more important than the academic year.
Of course, it's becoming a situation of, it's like the saying goes. Do you remember the saying, survival of the fittest?
Yes.
See, those sayings all are true. And ultimately, it is happening. It is just that, survival of the fittest. Not the richest, not the fastest, the fittest. You're fit, you survive. You build your immunity, you survive. You don't build your immunity, that's it. It's all over.
Right.
But also a little point over here that we all should, realize it. Since we have to live with this for we do not know how long, I think it's important that parents keep telling the child that, of course, apart from telling the child, did you wash your hands? Go wash your hands. Go wash your hands. Apart from that, we also have to build our kids up to a little bit of, strength, and tell them that, these are the good habits, and if you start developing.
Yes, it is not tough because, they adapt things very easily. And more than, order or more than advice, they follow. So what we can do, maybe we adults may follow the rules and regulations. They will see us and they will make their habit, or they will
Yes.
adapt very easily.
Absolutely, absolutely. See, end of the day, you have to be the role model. When it comes to social distancing, I don't know how serious people are taking it, because people feel government has eased the lockdown. See, government has eased the lockdown for a different reason, the economy. It's like if you don't die of COVID, they will die of starvation.
Right.
That also cannot happen.
Cannot happen.
So, easing the lockdown does not mean it is safe to roam around, but people are not getting it. People are gathering in, huge numbers.
Yes,
a lot
I
of
had
places.
other day one of my friend, I do not want to name her here. He also said me the same thing. Her neighbor, she said that there are n number of people outside. She said that means what? People are there inside. People are coming to celebrate. She was telling me like it is like Preeti, it is like horrible. People are not understanding safety for our citizens.
See, it is your responsibility. What I'm saying
Responsibility
is
also.
right now, what I even tell my children
Mm.
is, like they let us go somewhere. Everybody's going. Everybody's going. Let us go. I said, everybody's doing something. It doesn't mean it's right. And it is not about my safety. It is about now my responsibility.
Yes.
It has become a responsibility for mankind, for humanity, that we all have to understand our role in this, and we all have to understand that, we cannot follow blindly because there's a crowd. Let us also go in the crowd. We can't do that. It was already predicted, Preeti, I don't know if you're aware, but it was predicted by a couple of very well-known doctors sometime in early April.
Okay.
And May also, as reminders that June, July is going to be very crucial for India.
Yes, very crucial.
Now, they said that. Now, I don't know. I can imagine it will become crucial. I think the reason why it will become crucial is because people are out there like cattle now, just roaming and doing their thing like normal. So that is why it's going to become very crucial.
People are also tired of being at home, maybe. That is why they need fresh air, they need little bit of walking, and that is the reason maybe people are out. Yes, I understand people need physical activities, but at the same time, safety first. That is what I want to convey. You should not cry afterwards. You should not lose somebody from our life.
Extremely important. And then, you're wearing that mask, and you're mingling, and you're thinking you're very safe with that little piece of cloth across your mouth and nose where you're breathing in the carbon dioxide, and ultimately it's going to affect your brain and your heart and all the organs in your body. But it's okay because I am wearing a mask. I have the rights to roam and meet people. So we have to take this as a big responsibility, each one. Even your child has to be told that, you're not, this is our responsibility, this is your responsibility for yourself first and for the people around you, your family members, and then, it goes into your friends, your neighborhood and society, etc., etc. So this is a very important thing that we all have to instill in our children's minds. Please, everybody should understand it. And I hope and pray that this COVID gets weaker day by day. That's my prayer. It gets weaker and weaker day by day, and we get stronger day by day so we can fight it. But irrespective, I think all of this was just bound to happen, and we just have to deal with it in the correct manner. That's all I have to say, Preeti, for this. I've always wanted to speak about these kind of things, social concerns, but this is not a social concern. I would again repeat, this is a global concern. And no matter what we have been doing and looking towards doing, I think this is something very serious, and everybody should take it very seriously.
So, Myra, this was about our social distancing and how we can keep ourselves safe. That was about it. So, would you like to say anything about how to build our immunity, or which way we can stay ourselves fit? That is more important now, because we don't know when corona will catch us. I mean, who will get infected and how and where. So, would you like to say anything about ourselves, how to keep fit or how to fight with this pandemic?
Sure, Preeti. You mentioned about people going for walks and, jogs in the morning because everybody is bored staying at home and everybody wants to just get out. Yeah, I am absolutely, I agree with what you just said. Going out would be advisable when it's like early in the morning. choose to go to a place which is not very crowded.
Yes, that will be a good idea.
Yes, avoid crowded places. So if you go to a park which is crowded, see what time it's not very crowded and go at that time where there are less people. Even if it's maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's okay. It's if you want that exercise, you can take it anytime.
Yeah, it's not like that you have to do only in the morning only. No, you can do in any time. Yes.
Absolutely. So either you beat everybody and you're out there first thing and you get back as soon as you can, the moment you see more people, accumulating, or during the day when there are not many people around, and so you can find your time, find a time where you can benefit from that extra space around you. Right. That's one. If you can't do that, well, the next thing is you can use your home, your basement parking, your terrace, your anywhere where you can just do some freehand exercises, some skipping, or just walking up and down on your terrace.
Some push-ups maybe, some planking maybe will help. Yes.
Blankets, all of these kind of small things, freehand exercises, bending over, touching your toes. And very important to add here is all of us should start doing the pranayam, that breathing exercise, which is very important, I think, now, because as we know, this demon is attacking us, and the complications coming out of it is because of the lungs getting affected, right? Yeah. So this exercise, these breathing exercises, even 10 minutes every morning, preferably this should be done early in the morning, is something that's going to help. Another small little, tip here is I would like to tell especially children, because today children don't want to go out in the sun. They're all indoors playing video games, always on the phone. Vitamin D is lacking. So I think for vitamin D, advise the youngsters to wake up a little early in the morning. Go and stand somewhere where you can get a little bit of sunlight for at least 10 minutes. It really helps you. You need vitamin D in these situations, It's important. So get some sun early in the morning. And that firstly, the early morning sun is good. And secondly, especially under these situations, you can do a breathing exercise and you can get a little bit of sun, which will help. So you're getting two things together. Okay? Right. So that's what part of the exercises. Be active in your home. Don't be just sitting around the TV all day and eating too much and getting fat. Now, this is going to become a concern, not only with youngsters, with everybody, because when there's not much to do, it's psychologically proven that you just want to eat and you eat the wrong things. So I have a lot of friends who, we talk and they're like, my God, we've put on weight for the last 2 months. And I'm like, why? What do you mean, why? Haven't you put on weight? I said, no, because we don't have much to do and we're just sitting and eating and watching TV. So there you go. Now, again, for all ages, this applies that instead of sitting there and eating bags of chips and ice creams and chocolates and just watching television, I think everybody take out a little notebook and a pen and make out a small schedule for yourself. Wake up time, exercise time, breakfast time, doing work around the house time. Do something, but stick to a routine, a timetable. It's very important to have a timetable and a routine. That disciplines you. It keeps you on the right track. Have your meals regular time, which you used to have before COVID came, and sleep. A lot of people are oversleeping. They say there's nothing to do, so we watch TV till 1, 2 in the morning and we sleep till 2 in the afternoon. That is the worst thing you can do.
Very
unhealthy.
Right.
It is not good for you to sleep through half the day. A lot of people are doing it.
Right. So
a lot of students are up a little early because of the online classes and stuff. So yes, that's also a good thing. So I really like it when schools, really insist that the child has to be present for the class, because that way the child gets up early. They don't get into this lazy, useless lifestyle. So I think that is as far as the exercise and activity is concerned. And apart from that, food habits have to be adhered to. Healthy eating, a lot of greens, eat food which have vitamins, have your protein foods, eat your normal healthy food. and eat it in balanced quantities, some fruits, and a lot of water. A lot of water. And preferred, everybody should get into a habit, not just because of COVID. It's not for COVID. I'm saying this particular point. This point is healthy point. Healthy habits.
Healthy habits, healthy
Drinking
lifestyle,
warm
happy
water.
life. It is not only for COVID, it is
No.
for our lifestyle.
Always, always. So that's it. So food and water is something that we all know what we have to eat and what we need to eat. That we continue. But I'm just saying balance it out. Don't overeat because you have nothing to do.
It's really wonderful talking to you, Myra, today. And, loads of love, loads of wishes for your wonderful tips. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Preeti. Always a pleasure. Take care.
This is Preeti from the Preeti Bhuyan Talk Show with Radioactive 90.4 MHz. If you have any suggestion or want to share your own incredible story, you can reach us out on Facebook, Insta, Twitter and YouTube. Until next time, this is Preeti. Keep listening, keep loving, keep inspiring.
Radioactive 90.4 megahertz. Bangalore's first community radio station. Listen up, listen up, listen up. Get active.